AAA gaming, a term that has become synonymous with scam. AAA gaming has been on the line for quite some time. The past year has really been the nail in the coffin for these companies and has also served as a wake-up call for a lot of gamers. 2024 started off pretty innocuous, with Ubisoft planning to release Skull and Bones early in the year. I played the beta for that game and I'm not gonna lie, it was alright. There were some fun moments I had, but it was just a beta, and I knew there was no way I was going to be paying $80 for it, but I still thought it was an alright game that I might have gotten for like $30 or $40. But right around when I finished playing the beta is about the time Ubisoft began referring to Skull and Bones as the world's first quadruple-A game. Now, I had seen the writing on the wall for quite some time, but when I heard the term quadruple-A gaming, that sent shivers down my spine. I was genuinely terrified for the future of games, and I did not trust gamers to be the ones to solve the tidal wave of corporate greed that was about to crash down all around us. Like, come on, have you seen us? We're a bunch of apes. Little did I know that gamers wouldn't even have to do all that much, because for the next year, AAA companies would be releasing such hot steaming piles of garbage that their downfall would be completely inevitable. Now, of course, I want to be playing fun games. I want good games to be released. I'm not a crazy person. I still enjoy playing fun games, but at the same time, it was so satisfying to watch the hubris of these corporate monsters become the all-consuming fire that would lead to their demise. We were blessed with such gems as Concord, Assassin's Creed, Suicide Squad, Dragon Age Veilguard, South of Midnight, Star Wars Outlaws, and Avowed. Including Skull and Bones, notice how many of these games are Ubisoft titles. All of these games were hyped up to be some kind of great, fantastical, next-gen, crazy experience, and yet at launch, each and every one of them was rejected, dejected, and ejected by their audiences. People are starting to wake up to the reality that AAA corpos are taking advantage of them. I'm not gonna lie guys, the writing has been on the wall for years, and I can't even really blame the companies all that much. I mean, at the end of the day, their main goal is just to maximize profit, so if people are paying for these games, these broken, soulless, buggy, cash grab games, why would the companies ever stop making them? They've been raking it in for years, even if the games aren't that well received. But the tides are beginning to shift, not only just for player awareness in general, but also in legislative matters. I made a video in the past about the EU and how they are starting to crack down on predatory microtransaction practices. This is a huge win for gamers and for games as a whole, because as the focus starts to come away from in-game stores, companies now have to divert resources to the actual game itself in order to make that the selling point. Imagine that. Imagine needing to make a good game in order to make money. I know, that's insane. It's wild.
It's unfair.
So while I do think that the tides are shifting and that game companies are going to be forced to stop taking as much advantage of their audiences, I don't think releases are ever going to get less buggy or less broken. I think we are forever going to be stuck in the era of patches in perpetuity. The game stores of a lot of these games are probably going to be not as predatory as they have been in the past, but launch days for all games across the board are going to be just as buggy as they ever have been, maybe even more so because of the growing complexity of game engines and scope of new games. Of course, there are going to be exceptions to this, think like Elden Ring or Baldur's Gate 3, which launched in near perfect functioning states, but I don't think any of the AAA companies are going to look at these examples and say these games were well received because they weren't buggy at launch. They're going to look at the content, they're going to look at the charity towards the players or the respect that the games gave the players. They're going to look at every other aspect of the game besides the polish, besides the fine-tuning, besides the fact that it launched in a well-functioning state. So do I think AAA gaming can come back? Yeah, I mean, it's gonna come back. These corporations are not gonna stop putting out video game content. They're not gonna stop putting out crazy big blockbuster titles. And you know, if they put out 1,000 games in the next 5 years, the fact of the matter is that at least one of those games is gonna be really, really good. The worst case scenario for them is that they're all gonna start vertically and horizontally integrating. There are gonna be more and more corporate merges, but I do think that the reputation of AAA game companies has been forever tarnished, and thank the Lord that this has come to be before quadruple-A gaming could have become a mainstream title. Anyway, if you made it this far, thanks for tuning in. Drop me a subscribe. I'd love to see you guys stick around. I'll see you in the next one, and as always, take care.